Okay. Full citizenship. So the we'll always start with scales. It's just the best thing to start with. So in grade 4 theory, you actually have to familiarize with scales up to 6 sharp, 6 flat, and minor scales up to I think 5 sharps and 5 flats. So there's a lot to remember, and that's where the mnemonic where I taught you guys comes in really handy, because you wouldn't be manually building the scale every single time you were to try and get it. So circle of fifths. Might just write that in. A fifth up from E is B major. A fifth from a fifth up from just gonna write that in quickly. B major, a fifth up from B major is F sharp major, and ascending number of sharps 3, 4, 5, 6. And who can recall what was it that the mnemonic I taught you to memorize the order of sharps? Do any of you remember what was the sentence that I gave you guys to remember the order of sharps? Okay, I'll put it down again. Fat cat goes dark after eating beetroot. So that is the order, the way the sharps go, and you just take the first letter. And remember that the sharps always have to be in this order, whether you're writing them or naming them. So when you're naming the sharps, they have to go in that specific order. Oops. There we go. Wrong with this. All right. So we've learned most scales already up to E major at this point, and so the only new ones, or relatively new anyway, would be B major and F sharp major. So they're our new scales for grade 4. And B major has a key signature of 5 sharps, and it's written like this. And what most students have trouble with is that they don't know which octave to put the sharps in, and there's actually sort of organized way to kind of put the sharps. So the way you have to remember it in so with the order of the like in which octave you put the sharps in, I find it really helpful to actually it's better if I quickly get up this, and I'm going to show you a key signature of 7 sharps, which is all the sharps, so we can see how that might look like. That's a key signature of 7 no, that's 6 sharps, sorry, that's my bad. There we go, that's 7 sharps. And if you look at like the layout of sharps, I find it really helpful to imagine there's almost like a kind of like a slightly morphed sharp sign like that. So so you want like 2 here, 3 here, and 2 there. So it's kind of helpful to think like there's the entire the overall layout kind of looks like a sharp. If you it's not the most helpful tip I can give, but it works for all practical purposes. Like you see like a sharp. Or if you were just trying to be a little harder and more accurate, down, up, down, down, up, down. So it kind of traces out a zigzag. But otherwise it's more important that you can't just commit this pattern to memory. And it's the same actually with 7 flats. I mean, the layout's not the same, but there is like kind of like a sort of shape to it if you look carefully. With flats, it's a lot more straightforward. You know, there's 2 like slanted rows slanting down. Yeah, so that's on kind of like the layout of the key signature. Anyway, how do I zoom out? Okay, back. So B major and F sharp major, 6 sharp, looks like that. And honestly, scales, all the principles we learned about scales in grade 1, 2, and 3, they all still apply here, like tetrachords, scale degrees, tone semitone pattern still applies. And so I think we can just go over all the new scales for grade 4 before I make you start writing some. So does everyone have stave paper, by the way? Yes, Gracie probably does. Michael, your camera's not open. Where's the, yeah, there you go. And so we just touched on B major and F sharp major, which has 5 sharps and 6 sharps as their key signature. Let's go to the flat keys. So you also have to remember major scales up to 6 flats. And okay, let's count a 4th down from A flat major, which is what's a 4th down from A flat major? That gives you the next flat scale. Also, am I going too fast? Hello? Am I going too fast? Because I was just trying to quickly explain B major and F sharp major with 5 sharps and 6
That's
sharps.
okay. You're going okay.
Okay, yeah, just checking. Okay, so we have F major, B flat major, E flat major, and A flat major. And they always have ascending number of flats. So it just looks like this. There, okay. So F major has 1 flat, that's right. B flat major has 2 flats, that's right. E flat major has 3 flats, that's right. A flat major has 4 flats, that's right. And if we were to count, let's take a look at the
D flat.
Yep, D flat, and what would be next?
D flat. Sorry.
D flat. D flat major. Yep. Okay. Something I want you guys to I want to draw attention to something. Actually no, I'll show you guys what's curious about it. After we name all the flats in G flat major. And what would they be? Remember that the added flat will always be the tonic of the next flat key. Or you can just use the flat mnemonic, the flat key mnemonic that I gave you, which was so the one for sharp's order is fat cat goes dark after eating beetroot, and one for the flats order is beetroot eating after dark generally causes farting.
It's reversed for the flat order.
Yeah,
Flat
it is actually reversed for the flat order. So which flats would G flat major have? B flat,
B flat, E flat, flat, D flat, G flat.
in order. A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat. And
Yeah.
now I want to draw attention to something. G flat and F sharp is the same thing. And therefore G flat major and F sharp major is the same thing. And F sharp major has 6 sharps. G flat major has 6 flats. And the flats, they also correspond to the sharps in F sharp major. If you think about it, B flat's actually A sharp, E flat's actually D sharp, A flat is G sharp, D flat is C sharp, G flat is F sharp, and C flat is just B. Did you notice that? So we can actually observe that G flat major and F sharp major, they are actually the exact same thing. But one is in the flats direction and the other is in the sharps direction. But they both have G flat major has 6 flats, F sharp major has 6 sharps, but in reality they're actually the same scale. And if you think about it, all the flats, they also correspond to a certain sharp in F sharp major. And we call that, so along the circle of fifths, we call that an enharmonic change, and that occurs when the number of flats or sharps reaches 5. So what it looks like in practice is this. Let me just quickly wait. I'm going to quickly stop sharing screen and open. Bear with me. Trying to get something open. Wait a second. Okay, I've got it. So I'm just going to share my screen again and okay. Circle of fifths. So this one looks good. So the enharmonic changes, as we just discussed, occur down here. So as we can see, G flat and F sharp, they're the same thing, and these two key signatures, one composes of flats and one composes of sharps, but they're both in reality the same notes. And it's the same with B major, has 5 sharps. In the flats direction, it's called C flat major, which is actually just C flat is actually just B, and all these flats can correspond to sharp or a natural in B major. And its same goes for D flat major. Its enharmonic equivalent is C sharp. So here's a new term for you, enharmonic, which means it's the same. They're essentially the same note. So D flat and C sharp, they're called enharmonic equivalents. And if you're curious, the way you spell that is enharmonic. Enharmonic equivalence. And this only occurs down at the very bottom of the circle of fifths. So B and C flat are enharmonic equivalents, and G flat and F sharp are enharmonic equivalents. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, good. Cool. So if you prefer, like, in fact, the technical enharmonic changes only occur at the bottom of the circle of fifths. But I want to draw your attention to something. If we found the enharmonic equivalent of A flat, actually no, let's go along the sharp direction because I'm feeling sharper today. So if we take E major, its enharmonic equivalent would be F flat. And the theoretical F flat major, it actually doesn't really exist, but the theoretical F flat major would have a key signature of 6 flats and 1 double flat, which you haven't learned yet. But I think I might introduce to you this lesson. So for the sake of learning things in order, we will move on from the circle of fifths. And I want you to write 1 octave of B major, 1 octave of D flat major, and 1 octave. Yeah, just do 1 octave of B major and 1 octave of D flat major first, with the key signature and marking the tones and semitones. Michael, can you open the camera? Michael, are you in a car? Never mind. Nice talks.
What do we write after B flat major?
It's B major and D flat major. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna write it in the chat because there's so many majors and minors, and You probably hard not to get confused. Right, B major and D flat major with the key signature and mark the tones. Yeah, mark the tones.
How many octaves and ascending or descending?
One octave ascending and descending. I should have probably made that clear. Wait, Michael, you play violin, right?
Yes.
Gracie and Emma, do any of you guys play a string instrument as well? Emma, what string instrument? Oh yeah, Gracie and Emma, what string instrument do you play?
Violin.
Gracie, do you play a string instrument?
Violin.
Okay, honestly, so here's the thing. Part of the one of the topics in grade 4 theory is about like string instruments and like you know, all the stuff like tunings, sound quality, and honestly, you guys might be better than that than I am. So and since you all play the violin, I think I probably won't go over that lesson in class since firstly, I don't play a string instrument, and since you all do, you probably know better about like frets, fingerboards, sol tasto, and sol pontico, whatever that is.
Lewis.
Then I do. So I'm just gonna
Lewis.
skip over that lesson.
Pardon, Lewis, but don't you play the piano?
Yeah, I play the piano, but that's not a string instrument.
Piano is technically a stringed instrument because it
Technically, it's not.
hammers to bang strings when you press on a key.
Okay, by that definition, a string is a percussion. Yeah.
Lewis,
Yeah.
I'm doing this class from a phone, and I know I have my virtual background on, but I don't know how to turn it off.
Go to videos and that's actually a very good question. I think like because on computer with like go to videos and then you go choose virtual background and then just disable it. But honestly, I'm not very sure about phone. Also, where? Also, can you guys check something for me? It feels like it doesn't seem like I can share a whiteboard anymore in Zoom. Can you guys confirm that? Gracie, let me just get a look at that. Can you guys just go to like see if you can go to like you know share screen in Zoom and see if you can share a whiteboard because it doesn't seem like I'm not sure if Zoom removes that feature or something. Gracie. Okay, so it's B major has F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp in that order. Yeah, I think you might have written an E sharp for B major. Can you change that? Yep, Gracie, that's good. I wonder. Yeah, Michael, it's still blurred.
Should I like search up how to like stop the virtual background?
Maybe go to your Zoom account, click on settings, and click video settings. Try that.
Oh yes. That better, Lewis?
Okay, let me see. Emma, that's good. And yep, that's nice. Okay, so we've got the hang of major keys, and yes, minor keys. So I'm just gonna get that up. There we go. Where'd the minor keys go? There we go, minor scales. Okay. You know, it says up to 4 sharps, but I think like just for kicks, I'm going to teach you up to 6 sharps because we had major scales up to 6 sharps. So, minor scales in 6 sharps. So, recall the minor scales recall the sharp minor scales that we've already learned. That would be E minor, which is relative for G major, B minor relative to D major, F sharp minor relative to A major, and I don't think we learned C sharp minor. So C sharp minor is relative to E major, therefore it has 4 sharps with an raised, yes, with a raised 7th. So C sharp major. Yes, okay. C sharp major is this up. C sharp major, 4 sharps, and it would look like this. And then I gotta sharp the B because harmonic minor. So sounds like this. Whoops, wrong. Cool. That's C sharp minor. And then okay. So C sharp minor relative of E major, and then the relative scale of B major, counting down 3 semitones, gives us G sharp minor, and with 5 sharps, with 5 sharps, it looked like this: G sharp minor. And notice something very curious. So the 7th degree of G sharp minor is F sharp. And we have to raise that F sharp by another semitone, so it becomes a harmonic minor. Allow me to introduce you to a double sharp, and double sharp. So it raises a note by 2 semitones, and it looks.
That's a tone.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it raises the note by a tone. So, and it looks. Does this program even have it?
I think I've seen a double sharp before. Is it kind of like a cross?
It is, yeah, it's a cross. So apparently this program doesn't have it, but a double sharp would look kind of like that. I'm still wondering if there is add. Yes, just like that. Yeah, double sharp. There we go. It looks like a yeah. Yes, it looks like a cross. And still wondering, is this even?
You know the bar where there's like all of the quavers and semiquavers and decimiclavers and like the sharps and naturals and flats. And you know how there's a box highlighted blue that says 1? Maybe go to 2. What's that?
Nah, No, it doesn't work.
Okay.
Search. Ah, there we go. Double sharp. Looks like that. Okay, and let's hear the whole thing. Well, that's G sharp minor, relative key of B major. And so here's the thing. It's actually always easier to think about minor keys in terms of the relative major because there's actually a mnemonic for the relative major. There isn't an existing one for the minor, which is why it's much easier to just go into to just like translate it into the relative major. Count the key signature and then translate it back. And okay, final one. F sharp major, which has yes, F sharp major, which has 6 sharps, and the relative key is D sharp minor, which looks like this. And we need a double sharp again.
Is there like an actual name for double sharp?
It's just called double sharp.
Okay.
Oops. Oh wow, I wonder what these are. Yes, so it would, and then we double sharp the C. So you might be wondering why instead of putting a double sharp there, why can't I just write D? Well, because it's technically you're because then technically in the scale there'd be 2 Ds, and it just like the actual answer to that question is I don't know. So you just actually have to put that double sharp in because you like in practice you can't put D because like in that like particular scale you'd have 2 Ds. I guess the main reason for that would be because scales need to be diatonic. Their scales need to be made of diatonic semitones instead of chromatic semitones, and what that means we will touch on later in grade 4 theory. And yes, we do learn that. So we now have C sharp minor, G sharp minor, and D sharp minor. So those are relative key of E major, B major, and F sharp major. Okay. Clear, everyone? Next. What are we? I wonder where's the second. Where is there we go. Minor scales up to we'll just do 6 flat. So back to the drawing board. So recall that the major scale with 4 flats is A flat major. And I'm just thinking, we've learnt D minor, we've learnt G minor and C minor. Yes, so we have to learn F minor, which is the relative key of A flat major, sorry. So it would have 4 flats and it looks like this. And we natural okay. And next, so F minor is the relative of A flat major. Sorry. The major key with 5 flats is D flat major, and counting down 3 semitones gets us to B flat minor, which looks like this. Oops. Natural. Okay. Notice like as I said, it's always easier to create your minor scales from the relative major scale. That actually would be the best method to do it, because the major scales is actually a stable pattern and a mnemonic to help you remember it, while with minor scales is not really. Okay, so that's B flat minor, and finally 6 flats is, oh whoops, yes, okay, 6 flats is right, 6 flats is G flat minor, and counting down 3 semitones from that gives us E flat minor, oh, which looks like this. Brilliant. Make sense, everyone? Cool. And I think that's all it for scales. And we're only 45 minutes in. Joy. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to get you to write the I'm going to type it all in chat. So, tonic triad of C sharp minor, D sharp minor, and B flat minor. Dominant triad of the G sharp minor, G sharp minor, E flat minor, and F minor, and we won't do subdominant triad for the time being. And all the questions are in chat. Is everyone finished? By the way, I forgot to say this, but preferably do it with key signature. If you already written in accidentals, it's okay as well. By the way, have you all finished school? Right.
No, we still have 1 week.
Oh, that sucks. By the way, I just went out to the music store today and got you guys a bunch more material. Uh, hmm. So Gracie, so with the flat so with the flat keys and with the dominant triad, it wouldn't be sharp because the note has already been flat. So to like undo a flat or to sharp a flat, you would natural it. Oh, maybe you should say like to sharpen a flat and you natural. I don't even know. Music can be weird sometimes. Yep, Gracie, that's right. Um, yep, that's right. And Michael, are you finished?
I'm just writing down F minor.
Okay, I think actually, we've got about 35 minutes left of the lesson. Michael's still working, but you two are finished. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes break, so come back at 5:30. And Michael, once you finish, you can show me as well, and I'll give you a couple minutes break. Um, might be because of the sun, but yeah, that looks. Yeah, I think that looks right. But you might have been the sun, but I think you didn't write the accidentals in for the dominant of the minor triads, did you? Maybe just turn your book away from the sun so you can get a better look. Yeah, yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, you can have 2 minutes break.
Okay.
Are we all back? Gracie? Gracie, are you back? Oh, well, apparently not. Okay, yes, you are. So we covered quite a few things today. So, next. Actually, I think I'll give you guys a choice. Do you want to do some like technical stuff, or do you want to do some intervals? Because I think we could both fit. Because I think we could fit either one of them in half an hour. Technical stuff or intervals?
Technical.
Well,
Technical.
obviously Michael hates intervals. Right.
I don't hate them. I like technical better.
I still think you hate intervals.
There's a difference, Louis.
Yes, Michael. Okay, anyway. So, no, why don't I just open up? Right, there we go. So, oh, that's grade 1. Whoops. Grade 4. There we go. What? Whoops. Okay, chromatic and diatonic semitones. So, the definition of a chromatic. So the difference between chromatic and diatonic semitones, new terms, by the way. So a chromatic means they're on the same notes, while diatonic means they're on a different note. So a way to think about it is if you take the piano, a chromatic interval bases its sharp or flat on the same white key, sorry, and the diatonic semitone bases its notes on two different white notes, and the reason why chromatic and diatonic semitones are important, it's because so remember how I told you why we use double sharps and not why we use like F double sharp and we don't just write G. So the reason for that is because most what's it called? Yeah. Most scales the examiners just honestly prefer scales to be written using diatonic semitones instead of chromatic semitones. And if we wrote G to G sharp, that would be a chromatic semitone, and examiners don't want that. Also, there would be like a nasty gap between this note and that note, and that wouldn't be very good. So scales are always written using diatonic semitones, which is why sometimes double sharps are needed. You'll never really see a double flat anywhere, unfortunately. And on the topic of that, I will introduce you to double sharps and double flats. So the deal with double sharps is a sharp sign that like kind of like a hashtag erases a note by one semitone. A double sharp sign raises it by two semitones, and a double flat sign looks basically like two flats next to each other, and which is sort of boring. But like just about the only usage for a double flat is when you're writing diminished and augmented intervals, a topic which we will save for next week. But like with double sharps, you'll see it quite a lot in scale writing and harmonic minor, just as I showed you, because scales like to avoid diatonic semitones. Right. Was I speaking too fast? Did that all make sense? Okay. And I also I want to veer away from the topic of intervals at this point because Michael doesn't like them. And honestly, I think I should just save all intervals matter for next week. So just for a bit of fun, we're going to try writing the enharmonic equivalents of okay, we're going to try write the enharmonic equivalent of E major and A flat major now that we have this new knowledge of double sharps and double flats under our belt. So the key signature, firstly, the enharmonic equivalent of E major is F flat major. And since it doesn't technically have a key signature for that, we're going to create a new one. I wonder if I can even do that. Yes, I can. Oops. Okay. A flat. E flat, and what is wrong? And now we gotta think. So E major would look like this. So let's just write it out first. Whoops. To make that the enharmonic equivalent of F flat major would take adding another flat, or in actual case a double flat, to what we already know as the C flat key signature, which has 7 flats. So this takes a bit of critical thinking, but the flat, it actually takes us back all the way to the beginning. So what I mean by that is the flat we're missing is actually a B double flat. And then like what's strange about this is that if you kept following along the circle of fifths and you tried to make the enharmonic equivalent of A major, which is which would be B double flat major, then you would have to add a double flat to E. So let's take this weird new key signature that we created, and yes, add. This is going to be very weird. Okay, so this is the key signature for our theoretical F flat major, which is the enharmonic equivalent of E major. Let's try. Whoops. Okay. Time to test. Listen to E major first. Okay, and now listen to F flat major, which is the enharmonic equivalent. It sounds the same. Oh my god. So that, what I was trying to show there is that you can actually make an enharmonic equivalent for every single scale on the circle of fifths. but the official technical enharmonic change occurs at the very bottom of the circle of this. And now let's try to make the enharmonic equivalent of A flat major, which has 4 flats. So it would have so to make the enharmonic equivalent of A flat major would be G sharp major, and that would have 6 sharps and 1 double sharp. And according to it should have so it should have 6 sharps and 1 double sharp. Let's try it out. Clear this first. A flat major sounds like this. Whoops. Now, six sharps. Whoops. Bear with me. And by observation, the double sharp we need is F double sharp. And what the hell happened? Okay, and let's add this and see what it sounds like. So I'm currently demonstrating the enharmonic equivalent of A flat major. And what has happened to my... Whoops. Just happened. I have no idea what just happened. Oh, right, went to the next page. And what is that sharp doing there? Anyway, so this is G sharp major, and we're about to see it's the enharmonic equivalent of A flat major, and we're about to see what it sounds like. Cool, the program just crashed because I was trying to input the enharmonic equivalent of a key that did not exist. Okay. So cool. I just crashed that program because I was trying to invent new enharmonic keys. So we'll ignore that for now. Can't believe my computer just did that. So anyway, you can try that experiment at home by yourself, actually. Try to create enharmonic equivalents of keys that don't technically have an enharmonic equivalent, and then play it on the piano and see like how your experiment works out. Okay. Final thing before we all go. You know a chromatic semitone and diatonic semitone. And there's actually also chromatic intervals and diatonic intervals, and they actually have absolutely nothing to do with chromatic semitones and diatonic semitones. And since it's on the topic of intervals, I think I'm going to save that topic for next week. And honestly, I don't know what else I could do with you today. Does anyone feel like a bit of
early intervals.
Does anyone want to do intervals? Apparently not. Okay. Does anyone want to do some 4-part stuff? Gracie likes
Does this include
4-part.
cadences?
Yeah, 4-part cadences. I think I won't introduce imperfect and interrupted cadences today for the sake of we only have like 10 minutes. We only do have 10 minutes left.
Isn't interrupted cadence V to VI?
5 to 6, yes. And imperfect is 1 to 5, 2 to 5, and 4 to 5. And there's also a lot of other ways to make an imperfect cadence. So I don't think we'll do imperfect interrupted cadence today. Instead, I'm going to teach you how to precede a perfect cadence. And if only that program will be able to load without crashing this time. Anyway, so the best way to approach a perfect cadence is with chord 4 or 1. You can also do it with chord 2 or 6, but we haven't learned that yet. And if we've learned if you did take a look at imperfect cadences or imperfect cadences in the guidebook that I gave you a couple months ago, it's actually really helpful to precede a perfect cadence with an imperfect cadence. So what I'm talking about, imperfect cadence is a 1 to 5 or a 4 to 5 or a 2 to 5 or not very commonly seen a 6 to 5. And it sounds really nice if you precede a perfect cadence 5-1 with a 1 to 5, a 4 to 5 or a 2 to 5. So your 3-chord progression will be 1-5-1, 4-5-1 or 2-5-1. Let's try writing oh cool, it opened. The program actually opened. I don't think we'll be doing any more scales, any enharmonic scales anymore, so I won't yes. Oh wow, it crashed again. Oh no, it's there. There we go. So okay. I need to make a grand stave. Okay, there we go. So let's start with a perfect cadence in D major. I'm gonna put the key signature in. What's happening? There we go. To prevent crashing my computer again, I think I'm gonna delete these stupid key signatures here. Oh, it's not letting me delete them. Doesn't matter. D major. Perfect cadence in D major. First, doing it in slightly wrong order. Bass notes, leading note to tonic, the note in common, and then whatever's left. Okay. Here is a perfect cadence in D major. Listen to it. Am I even sharing my sound? Yes, I am. Okay. That's the perfect cadence. And the way to properly precede a perfect cadence is with chord. Okay, first let's try chord 1. as you can see, I'm just being lazy and copying what I did for that. So it's 151, and it surprisingly sounds very nice. Whoops, wrong note. Whoops. Okay. Very nice. Okay, and now let's try 451, and it would sound like this. Whoops. You have to be careful not to create consecutives when you're using 4. What have I done wrong? Right. That's where I went wrong. Okay. Okay, and this 3-chord progression is 451, and it sounds like this. Brilliant. Okay. And we have 5 minutes left. So write a perfect cadence with a preceding note, with a preceding chord. So either 151 or 451 in G major and F major. I'm going to type it in chat. Perfect cadence with preceding chord in G major and F major. Hi, Daniel. Gracie, I'll just get a look at that. Uh, Careful. There are consecutives in, um, yeah, there are consecutives in the 4-5-1. So, I've got to mention this, but when you're writing 4-5-1, it's very easy to have consecutives because it's tempting to make every single voice step up. Instead, what you should do, only the bass steps up, the other two voices step down, and another voice leaps down. So I'll show you my example again. The second one is 4-1. Oh, that's too close. The second one is 4-5-1. And notice how only the bass is stepping up, two are stepping down, and another one is leaping down a third, like that. I think, do you want me to keep this up, or are you guys okay? I think I'll just stop, so I need to, Yeah, they're leaping too fast. So I think okay. I'm just gonna look at the look at Gracie. Could you hold that up again? I'm just going to ignore the preceding chord because I think we need to do a bit more work on that in later lessons. But in any case, the perfect cadence that you've written is perfectly correct. So you may go. Okay, Emma, Michael, did you hear that? You can ignore the preceding chord. We'll do more on that next lesson. Bye, Gracie.
What's an
Okay.
imperfect chord?
Yeah, we'll get to that next lesson. Okay, bye, Gracie. So, Emma, the same thing happened to you when you were using chord 4. You made everything step up. No, put that back up. I'm gonna ignore that for now since we didn't have time to do that. So I'm just gonna check the perfect cadence at the moment. Yeah, your perfect cadence is very good, so you can go. Michael, bye, Emma. So you don't need to do the preceding chord because we'll do more on that next lesson.
Okay.
Just show me the perfect cadence. Hi, Daniel. Michael, are you finished?
Well, I can't really think of how to do the perfect cadence because it's kind of been so long.
Yeah, okay. I'll catch up with you next week. Is that all right? So we'll do since we've already done a bit of 4-part stuff today, I think we'll do 4-part next week and we'll save intervals for later. So yeah, I'll catch up with you next week. Perfect cadences. See ya.
Okay. So bye.